What if someone built a horror game entirely out of cardboard, paper, glue, and whatever they found in a nursery's art cupboard, and then turned it into a roguelike for some reason? Welcome to the Paper Cut Mansion. It's consistently on sale for under £2, and I haven't seen anyone talk about it. So why not check it out for myself? Is it a hidden gem, or is it all style and no substance? After several runs through of this haunted arts and craft project, I've got some thoughts. You play as Detective Toby as he arrives at the mansion. He loses his memory after entering, and must piece together clues to find out what's going on. The mansion constantly changes, and his occupants are strange. Can poor Toby escape, or is he doomed to be stuck in a loop? The story is fine. It's an interesting mystery, it's just not told very well. The story feels very fragmented. You only get bits and pieces after every few levels, and it's never much. Like on one run through, you only get 3 meaningful cutscenes, and it seems to be the same 3 cutscenes every run. I don't even think it's a spoiler to say what happens in them because so little info is given. Toby had a bunch of jobs, became a detective, and wanted to solve a hard case to prove his worth. Like, that's it. It sounds less like a mystery and more like a dating profile. There are 29 different endings though. You get different endings depending on how much evidence you collect and what difficulty you're on. I can't say much about these endings. I only got 2 and that was enough for me. The revelations didn't hit as hard as intended, which means I didn't really want to go get the other endings. Instead of focusing on the plot, they seem to put all their effort into how the story is told. Every cutscene is told through a song sung by Toby. It's very Nightmare Before Christmas sounding. It definitely makes the story feel more interesting than it actually is. It's played with dioramas depicting what is being sung, which is a charming way to get the story across. I only wish there were more cutscenes to watch. Still, story isn't the main attraction here. The first thing you'll notice is the presentation. The entire world looks handmade. On the edges of objects you can see cardboard and how it was cut. Then details on the cardboard have clearly been made with pencil. I bet you could recreate this game in real life if you wanted to. It gives the game a truly unique identity. It also creates a dreamlike atmosphere. This translates to the characters as well. They're animated to look like stop motion. A lot of work went into these visuals and it's great until the novelty wears off. Environments and objects become predictable after a while. This isn't helped by the roguelike elements as rooms are random. There is a very limited variety in what rooms you will get. Big square room, little square room, long rectangle room. Feels like all the game has. I get it's made out of cardboard, but a circle room would have went a long way. Each level does have a different theme, like one is a police station and there is a sushi bar. But because you restart at the beginning of the mansion, you will see the same first level over and over, and it's at least visually interesting. The levels also don't feel that different. It's the same rooms but they have swapped out objects. This is where the game starts showing its limitations. Once you stop admiring the cardboard architecture, you're left with the actual game. This is where the game falls apart for me. It's just not very fun. The game takes a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil. Toby looks just like Chris from the first game, but instead of making a survival horror game, they made it a horror roguelike and it just doesn't work. A run for me took at least an hour and 20 minutes. That's insane for a roguelike. They normally work best when a run is short. A death could really put you off playing. If you die, you get sent back to the beginning. My biggest issue with the gameplay is the baffling design choices. You have to explore each floor searching objects, collecting upgrades and killing enemies. For some strange reason, they split the gameplay up into 3 different dimensions. In one you can only search objects, in the second one you can only fight enemies, and the other you can only find clues. I don't understand why you wouldn't put them all together. What this means for the gameplay is you walk around the entire level at least 2 times. For your first walk around you want to search all the objects to find coins and characters. Searching objects gets old fast. You know when you examine stuff in the old Resident Evil? It's that, but you have to do like 30 times the level. Turn the right stick till you see the coins or an item. This is the main way to make money. Your second walk around will be to complete tasks for the characters. You will need to do at least 2 in order to exit the level. These are always the same task. You always want to find these characters first to limit the amount of backtracking you'll have to do. The tasks will correspond to each dimension. If they ask you to find something, you'll have to be in the object searching dimension. If they want you to kill enemies, you have to go to that dimension. It all creates so much backtracking they don't even give you a map, which leads to a lot of wandering around. The combat is really easy as well. You have infinite ammo and the best strategy is always to walk backwards and shoot. The enemies all feel the same, they walk towards you. There are some bigger enemies who have more health and big areas of attack, but they are more tedious to fight than fun. You are better off always choosing power and health upgrades as they are the only important ones. You also have a different health bar for each dimension. The enemy dimension makes sense because they can damage you, but for the object searching one, random shit just jumps out of you like a cupboard will open. It becomes more annoying as the run goes on as more shit will jump out. Also sometimes a ghost can appear when searching. The ghost is invincible and will disappear after a short time. It will always drain what little momentum the game has. You can run to a priest who will dispel the ghosts, but sometimes by the time you get to him, the ghost has already disappeared. Then in the clue dimension you constantly take cold damage, because that one needs a form of damage I guess. The dimension system is not fun and feels like they should have pad out the runtime. The randomness hurts the puzzles as well. They are good puzzles. They are more like the puzzles from Resident Evil where you get an item as a reward, instead of the big main puzzles. But this game doesn't have enough of them. They can't be more than 3. There is code, music and directional puzzles. Once you figure them out once, you'll breeze through them every time. They can only be solved by finding clue items in that level. They only come in 3 forms as well, a drum, a poster and a maze. So the drum will have characters on the top and bottom of it, which will tell you what order the characters go in, so you can get the answer. For the posters, you only need to flip them over to find the code order. It boils down to if you see arrows, you know it's for the directional lock, and if you see letters, you know it's for the code or music locks. It becomes tedious having to solve them every run when it's the same ones over and over. The permanent progression feels like next to nothing, so it feels like you just wasted your time when you die. You get to keep any upgrade cards you find and are able to equip them at the start of your next run, but they're all too similar feeling. They come in 3 different types. One is a weapon or grenade, the other is a trap you can build like a turret, and the other is a boost to one of your stats. It's not enough variety to keep the game interesting. I found that the shotgun and the dodge roll worked best for me, so I stuck with that. The cards you find are random, so it could take you a while to find actual useful ones. The grenades feel like a waste of time as they were hard to aim, and the traps didn't do that much damage. The gameplay doesn't come together like it should. Roguelikes live or die on their replayability. I beat the game after my 4th run, and I couldn't bring myself to do another one. Getting an actual paper cut might have been more enjoyable. Ultimately, Paper Cut Mansion looks fantastic. The cardboard art style gives it an identity most indie horror games would kill for. Unfortunately, once you get past the presentation, you're left with a repetitive roguelike that never involves enough to justify its runtime. Every aspect of Paper Cut Mansion is just fine enough, but the art direction is doing most of the heavy lifting. Time to rank it. I could be being too harsh on a small game. I'm feeling number 86. This game didn't frustrate me as much as Outbreak did, so it's above that. But I think I had more fun stabbing dudes and running around in Nexus, even though that got boring as well. So Paper Cut is below that at number 86. They should have just made an arts and craft Resident Evil instead.